Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure to be here today. I just want to make a disclaimer that people who are here to listen about trading or FX, I'll be focusing primarily on the payment trends and themes. And obviously, payment is an integral part of any industry, including trading. So my presentation is primarily focused on global trends and also more specific to the Middle East and Africa region. Okay, this works. The theme of this presentation is basically extracted from our global payment report, which is an industry standard, industry benchmark. We publish this report annually. It involves about research on 44 countries, thousands of users, and audited by Ernst & Young and many other audit firms. So it's becoming a global benchmark for retailers, for traders, for bankers and merchants. So if you come to our stand at stand number 70, you can scan that report, which basically comprehensively covers many aspects of the payment industry. So I'm going to talk primarily on the 6 key themes on payments. The number one is cryptocurrency, and for not too many people's surprise, this is the most talked and most prevalent payment trends in the industry today. Bitcoin has been the forefront of cryptocurrency, and then you've seen many other cryptos and digital assets have erupted. Because there is no currency conversion, and you can access your money at speed of light, and with a fraction of the cost of bank transfer, many large corporates and institutions have been accepting cryptocurrencies. And on the other hand, you have seen central banks have now globally introduced CBDCs, and there are several pilots across the world, including this region and in the UAE. However, the regulatory framework is still in the making, and there are still uncertainties across the globe from cryptocurrency perspective. The second theme is primarily embedded finance, and embedded finance is really disrupting the financial services because there is a blurring relationship between financial services and non-financial institutions. But it's empowering the consumers, traders and merchants, and banks today can take advantage of the distribution channels which non-financial institutions offer. But it's a double-edged sword because the financial services lose that control and ownership of the customer once they enjoy it. But overall, consumers have a great advantage where they can access their money and manage their money very easily without really having to tap into the financial services sector. The other revolutionary trend is the real-time payments. And this is not a new phenomenon. It has been for the last 50 years. In Japan, in 1970, introduced real-time payments. Today, 72% of the world has access to real-time payments. But the major driver behind that is use cases like R2P and many other services provided by the government and public sector and inter-regional cross-border payments. In addition to that, combination of open banking and real-time payments provides an alternative payment solutions. The third trend is the super apps, which is really revolutionizing the payment industry. Today, Asia dominates in that area where Apple, Alipay and WeChat has become the lifestyle for a lot of users there. Payment is becoming an integral part of super apps. I mean, I was at the gas station this morning, and I was able to pay through my card, but not be able to access the app. So there is a lot of integration required at the super app's perspective. And obviously the stakeholders and financial institutions and other stakeholders needs to really incorporate super apps into their business case. The other drivers is financial inclusions. COVID obviously brought a lot of catastrophe and disruption to economies globally, but it also be a catalyst for new innovation and product and services, which needs to be embedded into the existing processes. And we expect financial inclusion to include connected devices like smart TV and smart speakers for people to access their money easily and appropriately. So these were some of the trends. I want to now dwell into a little bit about our Middle East and Africa payment trends. Moving to e-com, since 2017 to 2021, we have seen an unprecedented growth of 26% in e-commerce, which is very significant. And what our payment report experts are predicting that from 2021 to 2025, there'll be another increase of about 20%, which value is about $108 billion. So there's a huge growth on e-com, primarily markets like Nigeria and the UAE, followed by South Africa and Saudi Arabia. The payment methods are dominated by credit cards and cards in general, and followed by wallets and bank transfers to continue to grow on the expense of cash, which is declining rapidly across the region. So MEA is not, Middle East and Africa is not an exception. This chart again signifies that credit cards dominates the market in Saudi Arabia and in UAE. South Africa is about debit 24%, and Nigeria primarily is one of the only country in the Africa which has the bank transfers as one of the largest segment of the market. On the POS payments will continue to shifting away from cash towards cards and wallets. Cash dominates as well, but again, Nigeria, Saudi Arabia, and South Africa is again very cash dominant. I mean, in Nigeria, for example, there is a lot of unbanked population. UAE, and again, we have seen that through the COVID, is primarily drifted towards debit and mobile wallets. Key partners in the UAE from wallet perspective is Samsung Pay, Google Pay, e-wallet, Clip is emerging as well, and then we have likes of Careem Pay, ADNOC, so forth. Again, the e-com credit card prevails, wallets at the demise of cash. Saudi Arabia, MADA, as you all know, is a local scheme, has been extremely successful in incorporating digital wallets and STC Pay, which recently got their license as well. I'll talk a little bit about our payment trends. So, surprisingly not, digital wallets is dominating that space. In 2021, globally, it represents about 49% of all the payment methods. And we're predicting by 2025, it will have about 53% global share of the market. Same trend is at the POS, 28% in 2021, which represent about $13 trillion globally. And the digital wallet spans across the regions in APAC, in MEA, Latin, North America. Same trend is globally again on the pause, with Middle East and Africa growing at a 22% market share. And the drivers behind these wallet is rise of super apps because it provides a lot of functionalities and features, including payments, and the superior customer experience, which is very, very relevant. And then being part of the marketplace like Amazon Pay, Alipay, and flexible funding through bank transfer, through mobile contracts. And of course, we have seen in the COVID the adoption of contactless payments. So these are major drivers for a rise of the wallets across the globe. In 2019, cash was the second dominant method of payments, and which is declining across the world. It would represent less than 10% in 2025. So we see the demise of cash going rapidly again across the world. And this chart illustrate the decline. And obviously in Middle East and Africa, more specifically in Africa, still very dominant in cash, but we see that decline to be going at 4%. Next trend is the bank transfer. So bank transfer globally is declining. That's because of APAC in China and the Japan, which is currently 5%, and by 2025 it's going to be about 3% of the global bank transfer market share. But countries like Brazil and the UK, where the regulatory framework is quite matured, Brazil, for example, has about 170 million users today and is increasing rapidly. It would by 2025 market share it will grow to up to 18%. And the same in countries like Netherlands or Nigeria. The trend is increasing as well. Then again, the drivers behind that is because real-time payments maturity, open banking APIs, customer innovation, and the demand from merchant for lower cost. So bank transfer is prevalent in some of these European countries as well, and primarily in Brazil. Real-time payments. This is a game changer in the payment industry as we see it. When we started this report, Global Pay in 2014, there were only 17 countries who had launched real-time payment, and today there are 60-odd countries across the globe, and 4 new countries have just in 2021, UAE, including the UAE. Some countries have just launched in Canada, Peru, New Zealand, Indonesia. And real-time payment is really driving the cash towards the cashless society, which is the objective of this country. We have today in the UAE, for example, all the 17, 18 in Dubai, for example, 17, 18 ministries are all connected. I mean, you can do every single transaction today through real-time basis. 6 countries, for example, are changing their legacy solutions. Some countries like India, for example, have 70 million users daily, followed by China, which is about 40 million users. So this is a global phenomena and one of the key trend in the payment industry. Nordics and other countries in Europe providing cross-border regional real-time payments infrastructures. However, what it matters, and I spoke about it earlier, is the use cases, which would make use case which will make a difference. For example, request to pay services, which helps businesses and merchants. Government services like tax and collection, pension payout, trading. And IPO in the UAE, for example, we have now UAEs offer IPO trading investments through real-time schemes. corporate and business payments for instant payments for salaries. Again, in the UAE, as you all know, that has been launched many years back. And cross-border real-time payments across domestic, using domestic schemes. And we have seen this in Europe, we are seeing it in APAC and India and Australasia. I'm right on time. Any questions? Pleased to take those questions. No? Okay. We are at booth number 70. Please stop by. And as I said, for companies, trading companies, FX companies, payment is an integral part. FIS WorldPay is the largest acquirer in the world. We are present in more than 170 countries across the globe. Yes, there is anything we can do for you to facilitate your trading from a payment perspective, whether locally. We have a presence in Dubai, in UAE. We are opening our presence in Saudi Arabia as well. So we are the largest and the most prevalent payment provider for institutions across the globe, including trading and FX. Thank you very much.